What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining. I've gathered my thoughts after the media storm. You have the president tweeting his thoughts. You have all of, social media opinions everywhere. People saying this and that. You got ESPN analysts. You got conservatives. You got, everybody up in arms. So I've come to the conclusion that this is the realest thing that I could say to celebrities that are upset now, athletes that are upset now, major media figures. I want to ask you guys, where were you during the election? Where was your outrage? Where was your activism? Where was your protesting during the actual election? If you missed it, in case you missed it, seems like all athletes did, because now they're outraged that President Trump is in office. I've said it a million times on my live streams because it's the truth. I didn't vote for President Trump, so don't yell at me. Don't take down the messenger. But what I'm asking you, to the LeBron Jameses and to the Steph Currys and to the, whoever wants to be outraged right now, the, Draymond Greens, LaShawn McCoy, I'm a fan of you guys on the field, but where were you for the American people during the election? This was one of the most lopsided elections. I can't even say that because every election ever is pretty much lopsided. If you wonder why someone like President Trump can win, you have to first understand the game. In order to play football, if you want to be a good football player, if you want to be a good basketball player, you have to understand the game. You can't get on the football field and think it's a tennis court, or else you're not going to be successful. It's the same thing in politics. You have to understand the field, and no athletes understand the field. They're playing a whole different sport, yelling now, where were you during the election? I'll walk you through the election. Donald Trump went up against a bunch of loser Republicans. Jeb Bush, part of the Bush family, Ted Cruz, Ben Carson. This is who America chose for the election. This is who Trump beat. This is the field that Trump beat. A bunch of Republicans that you don't like either. On the other side, you had Hillary Clinton versus Bernie Sanders, and Bernie got cheated. No celebrity, maybe like one celebrity, no athletes spoke up against it. No athletes were talking about it. The whole election was rigged. And somehow Donald Trump won against the odds because it's out there, it's factual information that everything about this election was rigged, but no athletes cared until now. They're like, how in the world, you have Draymond Green tweeting, how in the world can President Trump be in office? Oh my, how can this guy lead the free world? It's because you and all the other athletes and celebrities didn't pay attention until 2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago, or maybe a year ago at best. Where were you when Bernie Sanders got cheated? The whole Democratic election is rigged. There's something, Draymond Green, my brothers, LaShawn McCoy, there's something called superdelegates on the Democratic side of the primaries. The primaries is where you vote for the Democrat nominee. There's something called superdelegates, hundreds of them, so no matter which way the people vote, they still get to choose who they want. So what happened with Hillary, she had 600 extra electoral votes out of 2,000. The whole election was rigged. If that wasn't enough for you, then they rigged the media. The entire media was rigged against Bernie Sanders. So they rigged the votes, they rigged the system. That wasn't enough, so then they rigged the media. Still that wasn't enough. They had to collude with the media. Donna Brazile colluding with CNN. So the primaries, where you vote for your Democratic nominee, was 10,000% rigged. Rigged every way. Rigged. And then they rigged it some more. Now go, Hillary Clinton cheats Bernie Sanders out of the election. Now you got Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. Everything about the media was a lie. The media, you wonder why, how the heck did Donald Trump get in office? Because he told more truth than any politician ever. I'm not saying he's the be-all, end-all. I call him out when I don't agree with him. But he told the truth about the media, which you guys work for. The big corporations that you guys play sports on, they lie to everybody. They let you play your game. They let us play our games. And then they go on the news and they lie. They lied about the polls. They lied about Trump. They lied about Hillary. They lied about Bernie. They lie about everything. So if you're, oh my God, let me get on Twitter. How in the world can President Trump be the president? It's because you don't pay attention until now. You didn't care when Barack Obama was starting all these wars, was destroying the middle class, was, messing over a lot of families with his policies. You didn't care. when he destroyed the president of Libya and the president of Iraq and just left a power vacuum for ISIS to take over. Now ISIS is getting moved out. And you don't care. You didn't care then. You didn't care now. So if you wonder how President Trump can get into office, the media is still lying to you. They're telling you, oh my God, it's Charlottesville, it's white supremacy. Jamel Hill's like, oh my God, I'm an activist now. Oh man, I'm helping my people. I'm helping the United States free from white supremacy. No, you're listening to the same media that elected Donald Trump. You want to know how Donald Trump got into office? It's because the media lies about everything. They cheat in every sort of way. All of politics is disgusting. It's been sold out to lobbyists and corporations in foreign countries. Morgan Freeman wants to get on the news. Oh, guess what? We're at war. We're at war with Russia. Oh man, we're being infiltrated. Morgan Freeman, excuse me. The United States has been infiltrated by foreign nations because we have politicians like Hillary Clinton who will sell out to anybody. She's running the Secretary of State, the State Department, which you probably don't even know exists. You probably don't even know how politics works, yelling on Twitter. She sold out to foreign countries. Anything for a paycheck. That's what U.S. politics has been. Anything for a paycheck. Just like athletes. They don't say anything. They don't do anything outside of the sport because they'll do anything for the paycheck until now. The whole world has just shifted. The whole paradigm, the whole, mental enslavement has been shifted now. So everyone's upset, and naturally so. What's going on? Is it KKK? Is it the Charlottesville? No, that's the same media telling you that lied to you. Jamel Hill working for the corporate overlords. Of course they're going to let you lie because you're helping their corporate agenda. So to athletes and celebrities, I feel your pain, I feel your activism. Trust me, I agree with you on many issues that you're kneeling and standing for. I'm not one of those people, get them off the field. That's not me. I'm just letting you know, I'm not mad at your protesting. What I am mad at is the fact that you didn't care until last week. You didn't care. You let the whole United States get sold out to foreign corporations and you never cared. You let the whole United States get sold out to corporations and foreign countries, and you didn't care. You let politicians like George Bush and Barack Obama start and expand wars, and you didn't care. You let politicians like Barack Obama drone strike 90% civilians. Look, it's an article in The Atlantic. 90% of his drone strikes hit innocent random civilians, and you didn't care. So if you wonder why someone like President Trump can get into office, it's because celebrities, athletes, and lame puppet media figures who are just corporate overlord spokespeople with megaphones. The reason we have Donald Trump is not because of the media lies you keep pushing. It's because for the past 10 years and the entire 2016 election, you didn't care. You are the reason we have President Trump, because all of a sudden now you're an activist, you're a protester, but you let the whole election get rigged. Look at the documents. It's official. When is a freaking NFL player and NBA player going to be like, man, I read the documents and I found out that Hillary's campaign is the reason that President Trump got elected. He's the reason that President Trump beat all the Republicans easier than he probably would have already. He probably would have beat them anyway because they're a bunch of losers who have no personalities and all they do is lie, and he's got some flavor and some spice to him. He probably would have won anyway. But it's in the documents that Hillary's campaign purposely elevated Donald Trump. Purposely cheated Bernie Sanders, didn't talk to the American people, didn't campaign, didn't have a protest. And the American people, unlike you, LeBron James, unlike you, Steph Curry, unlike you, Draymond Green, unlike you, LeSean McCoy, unlike you, anybody of any race, religion, or gender that's upset and dumbfounded right now, people know what Hillary Clinton did as Secretary of State. For people just joining reality, Secretary of State is a position where you work with foreign countries. And she was using her foundation and that position as a pay-to-play operation, selling out to anybody that paid her. And that's why Libya is a mess. That's why Iraq is a mess. And that's why Syria was a mess until President Trump got into office. And then he cut the funding of a covert program by the intelligence agencies. It was broadcast news, but of course they spin it to make it be like, oh my God, it's all Russia. There's nothing else that could be, in existence here. And now Syria has freed themselves from ISIS. You could Google it. Iraq has freed themselves from ISIS. The major cities, Mosul in Syria, Damascus and all of them, they don't have terrorists there anymore because Obama was helping the terrorists kill their leader. And Trump wasn't. And millions of Americans know this, but athletes don't know this. They're like, it must be Charlottesville because that's what the news tell you. That's the same news that lied to you all election. That's the media that helped elect Donald Trump. So stop pushing this BS agenda. I call out President Trump when he's being dumb. I'm going to call athletes out when they're being dumb. And I could care less about what race, religion, or gender people are. I don't care. I have friends across the spectrum. I judge people by their content of character. I know that's weird nowadays. Everybody's in the group think. It's like, oh, if you're this race or your religion, I'm going to hate you. If you're this race or your religion, I'm going to love you regardless because that's trendy and hip and cool. No, that's stupid. That's the opposite of what MLK wanted. He wanted you to judge people by the content of their character, not by what color they are, even if it's anti-reverse racism. Oh, I'm helping. No, if you're judging people based on their skin, you're being racist and you're being stupid, no matter what race or religion it is. And I told you earlier, I don't agree with President Trump's tweet. I didn't think it was a great move, but celebrities, if you cared so much, where were you this election? Where were you? The whole thing was rigged. The whole media is rigged. It still's rigged. It's never going to get solved. Your idea of what's going on is 110% wrong. I agree with you on social situations. I think there should be justice in St. Louis. I think cops should be held accountable. I think also police officers that are innocent shouldn't be gunned down because somebody's pissed off, or people shouldn't loot stores. So I'm in the fence. I agree with the causes. I don't like how you're handling it. And, you know, everybody's not accountable. Whenever you get a big group of people, there's always someone doing something stupid. So I'm not blaming the whole movement. I'm not blaming the whole protest. But what I am saying is your whole idea of what's going on in America is 10,000% wrong. No matter how many people believe it, it's wrong. And tens of millions of people know that. And they're never going to agree with you. You sit in the NFL. Everyone agrees with you because you work for the corporations. Because your whole life is corporate. All you do is barely listen to the news or social media, which is owned and controlled and being manipulated. So of course you don't know what's going on. Of course you think it's just the return of white supremacy. We just had a black president for 8 years. And he just pissed a lot of people off, and it had nothing to do with his color. These same people that support Trump supported Obama for 8 years. It has nothing to do with white supremacy. It has to do with thoughts, opinions, and people's feelings and whatnot. But where were you? Now celebrities are on their high horse. That's my question. I would love to talk to anybody. It's all love. It's no sort of hate or disrespect. I love sports. I'll continue to support the athletes that I like and I believe in and that I think are good players and whatnot. But really, where were you? We were begging for celebrities. We were begging for athletes. Please save us, LeBron James. Save me, Steph Curry. Save me from the real white supremacists. Save me from the real corporate overlords. Save me from the real slave masters. We were begging you. Because we didn't ask for it to be Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. The media did that. The same media that you believe now. The same media that said 99% chance for Hillary. Oh my God, how? And then everyone's on Twitter now. How in the world could someone like Donald Trump be president? LOL. It's because you didn't care during the election. It's because you didn't care the past 10 years. You let Bush and Obama do whatever. And you didn't care. And President Trump came through. I didn't even vote for him, but he was telling more truth than Hillary, so I'm not surprised he won. Of course he won. Politics is a disaster. You are on a tennis court playing football. You're on a volleyball court playing basketball. You don't understand what politics is. You think it was this great thing. Oh, Obama was amazing and George Bush was just not this bad. That's what you think, and that's why you're never going to be right, because it was that bad. We were sold out to foreign countries. We're already sold out to corporations. I mean, certain countries already own more real estate than Americans do. We're already sold out. It's far past that point. President Trump has nothing to do with it. He's trying desperately to reverse that, and all athletes do is attack and yell at him. That's just the reality of the situation. So you have to learn what politics was. It was a disaster. There's not a single politician I even remotely trust besides Rand Paul. That's one person out of like hundreds of politicians. The whole situation is skewed. It's not like, oh, everybody's great because, you know, they kill a bunch of people and ruin the middle class lives and they're slowly just sucking out the middle class, raising all their health care. 400%. That's what the average is for next year. Healthcare is going up 400%. And all Jimmy Kimmel does is speak on behalf of the corporate overlords. Say, oh, you can't think otherwise than me, or you're wrong. So they're the slave masters. The slave masters, LeBron James, Steph Curry, the real slave masters are the people that you're working with, are the people that you're saying, anybody who disagrees with me must be a Charlottesville supporter. What are you talking about? You're not even playing the right sport. You're repeating the mainstream media lies. That's how we got here. The media helped Donald Trump get elected. And those are the people that you're believing for your news source, social media and regular media. So once again, my question is to all the athletes upset now, where were you during last election? You weren't there. You never cared. Before you get outraged now, why don't you do a little research? Why don't you do a little research about what the United States did the past 50 and 60 years? Look who it was who, assassinated Martin Luther King. I don't know. Go check it. Who was responsible for that, or who got sued for that and lost in court? Do a little research, because those are the same people that you're supporting now. I mean, it's bananas how easy people are to control. But I have to give a dose of realness. If everybody's going to be upset, I'm upset too, but I'm not an idiot. I spent the whole election trying to tell people the truth, and no athletes or celebrities cared. They waited until, they thought, oh, Hillary's a great person. Oh, yeah, Hillary's a sure shot win. That's because the media lied to you. Just like Kanye West said, had that big rant before he went to a mental institution and probably got attacked. Like, oh, don't be too real, Kanye. He said Zuckerberg lied to you. He said, social media, Google lied to you. That's what he meant. He was telling the truth. Everyone lied to you. That's why you're like, I can't figure out what's going on. It's because you nonstop believe lies. I agree with the causes. I agree with why you're protesting. I want to get on the same page, but we're never going to get on the same page if you continue to push this narrative that literally doesn't exist. If you continue to pretend like politics was incredible until Donald Trump got there, he's not the problem. He's not the origin of the problem. Donald Trump is a symptom of the problem. That's how bad American politics has fallen, that someone like Donald Trump came through and was a better option. That's not a statement to how terrible of a person Donald Trump is, and if we get him out of office, oh my goodness, the sun's going to come out and the life is going to be amazing for everyone. You're 112% wrong if you think that. That's not the truth. So if you keep pushing that narrative, you're going to ruin everything. You're going to ruin everything for everyone. You're going to ruin your lives. You're going to ruin my life. You're going to ruin the life for all the kids in the inner cities that you think you're going to help. You're going to ruin everyone's life if you keep pushing that narrative, because it's not the truth. If you get rid of Donald Trump, it's not going to solve the problem. He's not the root of the problem. He's a symptom of how bad it's gotten. So if you want to fix everything, stop scapegoating Donald Trump, because the reason he got there is because Hillary Clinton was that bad. It's because George Bush was that bad. It's because Jeb Bush and Ted Cruz are lame. That's how we got there. So if you want to help kids, if you want to help black, white, Latino, Muslim, Christian people, tell the effing truth. Stop believing effing lies. Stop repeating the mainstream media narrative. Yeah, of course, Jamel Hill, of course they're going to prop you up, because those are the corporate overlords. Yeah, they love your message. You think you're an activist getting all this attention and love from corporate media because they care about you and people in the inner cities and underprivileged kids and people who don't have a lot of money in the lower and middle class? No, those are the corporate overlords who continue to squeeze the lower class into the lower class. They continue to raise healthcare prices. They continue to raise rent. They continue to raise the price of everything and lower the price of wages. These are the people that you're supporting, thinking you're an activist. You're not. So once again, to end it, where were you during the election? Where were you during the Obama administration when terrorism was growing out of control because of failed policies of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton? You never cared. And that's why President Trump won, because other people care and you didn't care until a year ago. And now you're dumbfounded. I would be too. If I believed fake news and I watched fake media, I would be surprised. I'd be like, man, I'm a good person. I'm not racist. I mean, what the heck? The Charlottesvilles are taking over and all the conservatives are white supremacists. I would believe that too if I believed lies, but I don't. I know the truth. So please do a little bit of research. Stop pushing this narrative and Maybe next election you'll pay attention earlier, not just to what the media says, you'll pay attention to what's actually happening, how the media manipulates everything, how the politicians manipulate everything, how foreign countries already are manipulating everything, and it has nothing to do with $50,000 worth of Russian Facebook ads. That's the fake lie that pushed by the liars who put Donald Trump in office. I'm just keeping it real. Once again, I didn't even vote for him, but this is a losing strategy. Meanwhile, you have Kim Jong-un and North Korea saying that Trump is on a suicide mission. We should be united now more than ever. I'm not saying to bomb them or get in a fight with them. I'm trying to not use arms if necessary. But what I am saying is united we stand. And this goes to President Trump too, who I didn't think needed to tweet that, start this storm. And Jamel Hill, all of these people, whatever. United we stand, divided we fall. This is a testing time for the United States nations. There's been a lot of presidents who's made a lot of mistakes, and a lot of countries are mad at the United States, not because of President Trump. Now they're more mad at us because we've already made all these dumb mistakes. All these countries are already mad at us, and now we're convincing the Western world via media to hate us too. So now we're turning the whole world against us. Half of it's because of past policies, half of it's because of how the media chooses to cover President Trump. So now the whole world hates us, and we're fighting with a nation who possibly has nuclear arms, and we should be united more now than ever, and we're divided now more than ever. And it's terrible to see. It's terrible to see celebrities playing into it. It's terrible to see athletes playing into it. It's terrible to see good people, and I know people that do care about good things, and they care about racism, and they care about the environment, and they care about unity, and they care about underprivileged people, but they're doing the wrong thing, and they're making every situation 20 times worse by ignoring reality. That's my message. Please, unite, have conversations. Everything is not black and white, and I'm not just talking about race. I'm talking about black and white when it comes to left and right and conservative and progressive. It's not all black and white. The whole world is a gray area. The whole world is a gray area. We have to have conversations. We have to communicate. We have to debate. Get the best from both sides. Stop just writing one side off and saying, they're all racist or they're all ungrateful. Kick them out of the country. It's the same thing. Just some sides are dumber, some sides have more facts, and some sides don't. They just have emotions. That's what's going on. Thank you guys so much for considering. As always, I just ask you to consider, have conversations, spread more love. The change is going to come from the collective consciousness, the collective love from all people. It's not going to come from the president. It's not going to come from athletes. It's going to come from millions of people all over the world spreading the message of love, truth, knowledge, wisdom, real unity, not fake diversity in the name of hate and division. That's not what it's about. It's down to us. Don't let politics and the news distract you from that overall goal. Thank you so much. I'm going to post my link below if you would like to donate to my news analysis. I so much appreciate it. I got fired from work last week, which is a blessing. Now I have more time to focus on myself and stuff I'm doing, and I'm already seeing the rewards from that. So thank you guys so much. You can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare. You can follow me on Twitter at Legendary Energy. Check out my website at legendary.vision. You could donate below. I'm going to post it right as soon as I close this. And thank you so much for, at minimum, considering being here, listening, following. I appreciate you now more than ever. And to America and to the world, please have conversations. Please stop believing fake media, and let's get down to the core, the root of the problem. Let's not just yell on the surface. That's the message.